A threat against Lake local schools, what we know about the investigation so far and what the district superintendent has to say. Plus, an animal cruelty investigation is underway in Sandusky County. The owner facing charges, the disturbing images of what was found on that property. Chris?
We're looking at evening rain showers that will begin to taper off. A little bit of patchy fog that may be possible as we go overnight tonight. We may not be entirely done with the wet weather. I'll have an hour-by-hour breakdown of what to expect for Thursday. That's coming up. Dan, back over to you.
Welcome into WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Dan Cummins. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday night. Let's take a look at our top stories. Lake local schools working with Lake Township Police to investigate an anonymous tip they got last night. The tipster said a possible school shooting at the high school was planned for today. Our Laura Sandlin has details.
According to Superintendent Marjo Cooper, the threat appears to have come from a group of middle school students in another district in the form of a slideshow.
One alarming slide inside of that talked about a massacre at 226-25 and had some not great pictures in there.
I spoke with Lake Township Police, who say it appears the threat was actually intended for Lake Township near Medina. Cooper says while it wasn't meant for them, the school takes the safety of its students and staff seriously.
We do feel like an additional presence today was warranted, and we'll, as we get through our investigation today and additional facts and things that we're finding out now, if that needs to continue.
He says situations like this are important to learn from.
We don't take these things lightly, and it's a good reminder for our parents, our older children, even younger children. One little comment can instantly have dire consequences.
That was Laura Sandlin reporting. According to police, the threat is still under investigation. We'll continue to update you on air and online. A man was arrested after he allegedly threatened to show up to class at UT with a bomb strapped to his chest. Toledo Municipal Court shows 20-year-old Jared Courtwright posted the threat in a group chat for students at another university February 20th. Police said several students saw the post, and Courtwright was arrested by UT campus police and charged with making a terrorist threat. He's confined to house arrest, can have no social media activity or contact with any university. Well, a veterinarian in Sandusky County has been indicted on 5 counts of cruelty to companion animals. This led to more than 100 animals being seized from an animal sanctuary. Sandusky County Animal Cruelty Division says conditions were consistent with large-scale neglect. Megan Hartnett picks up the story.
Dogs, cats, goats, alpacas, donkeys, rabbits, exotic birds, a pig, and guinea pigs, all found at Dr. Linda Hurt's property.
It was pretty obvious there were some obvious medical just concerns or ailments as we're walking through, noticing some animals that were limping, some animals that had wounds, some animals that had hair loss, some animals that had upper respiratory infections.
Jessica Johnson, Senior Director of Humane World for Animals Animal Rescue Team, says most of the animals didn't seem to have access to fresh water. This comes after a warrant was executed in November, 3 months after a volunteer sounded the alarm about conditions there.
You can really smell like the ammonia smell sort of coming from these cages.
Authorities examined all the animals then. Hurt was issued a compliance order, given deadlines to fix conditions, but she didn't meet them. Sandusky County's chief humane agent says this led to the indictments in the search and seizure Tuesday.
One of the things that we're finding a lot is a severe dental disease, which is can be very painful for animals.
Other animals were found with fresh wounds. Johnson says she's seen similar cases, but never with a veterinarian accused of such cruelty. Sandusky County Chief Humane Agent Kelly Pocock says Hurt was seeing other people's animals at the property and is concerned about contagious illnesses.
The Corrections Center of Northwest Ohio will house undocumented migrants before they're deported. The board voted in favor of using the jail as an ICE detention center. The contract with ICE states CCNO will receive $117 a day for every person it holds. The facility can hold between 60 to 70 at any given time. Sheriffs and county commissioners from the 5-member counties came to vote on that decision. Lucas County Commissioner Pete Gherkin and Lucas County Sheriff Mike Navarre, the only no votes.
This is probably one of the most reprehensible votes I've ever seen at CCNO. This is a well-run institution. It's made for the 5 counties and the local people here. We have no business getting ourselves tangled up in a deplorable mass deportation. I think Sheriff Navarro said it very well also. We have now voted to be in the business for profit. We have voted to be in the business of separation of families. We have voted to be in the business of lack of due process for people.
WTOL 11 tried talking to the members who voted yes. They declined to speak. One sheriff telling us, though, quote, "It was a financial decision and we don't need to justify it." A new bill in the Ohio legislature aims to eliminate ticket and arrest quotas for law enforcement across the state. The proposed legislation is currently backed by 3 state lawmakers. One of the bill's sponsors is a former Ohio State Highway Patrol trooper. He says he believes quotas create unnecessary pressure on officers to issue citations. This is not the first time Ohio lawmakers have tried such a measure. A similar one, introduced to the Ohio House Technology and Innovation Committee, would change how some of taxpayers' money is being used. House Bill 18 would allow the state treasurer to invest up to 10% of interim funds from the General Revenue Fund and 2 other funds in digital assets or cryptocurrency. Interim funds are money in the Treasury that's not needed to meet current demands. It can be invested. The treasurer could only invest in digital assets traded on major stock exchanges like the New York Stock Exchange. Committee members had questions and concerns about crypto market volatility and security of the taxpayer money.
Sure. I mean, volatility, just like any asset class, should always be a concern, especially when we're talking about taxpayer money.
The bill also clarifies state retirement system boards can make similar investments of pension funds. Stellantis is sharing details on its profit sharing for 2024 for its employees. Stellantis confirms the 2024 eligible profit sharing amount of $3,780 for its UAW represented employees. This was based on the company's North America financial performance. More than 38,000 employees are eligible to get the payment. They can expect a payment on March 7th. Lucas County Canine Care and Control has a new director. County commissioners voting today to name former Lucas County Deputy Dog Warden Dave Blythe as the next leader of LC4. Blythe previously worked at LC4 from 1981 to 2008. The previous director, Kelly Sears, was fired last year following complaints of poor treatment of staff and animals. Blythe is set to start next month. Chris?
Yeah, we're looking forward to our Thursday, where we still will have a few rain showers to contend with as we get into the afternoon. But generally speaking, the steady soaking rain that we've experienced much of our Wednesday, that will be moving out of the picture. Still going to have a cooler feel right around the lower 40s into the afternoon. Gusty winds will pick up and it will become windy again on Friday. It'll be a slightly warmer breeze that'll take us toward 50 degrees to round out the work week and the school week as we head toward 50 by Friday afternoon. And then into the weekend, cold front comes through Friday night into Saturday. It may bring a brief sprinkle or a flurry, but cooler feeling weather on Saturday. High right around 34 degrees for that first day of March. We're getting ready to turn that calendar over. We have rain that's occurring across the area. Some steadier soaking rain showers still south and east of the Toledo Metro. That is going to be tapering off as we go through the evening tonight. Some of those pockets of steadier rain now moving through the I-75 corridor. East of Toledo, Tiffin to Fremont, some of those higher yellows and oranges indicating some of those steadier pockets of rain. Temperature-wise, it's a cold, wet-feeling evening, right around the mid to upper 30s, close to 40 south of Toledo. And that's about as warm as it's going to get as we go through the evening tonight. Now, as the rain ends, a little bit of patchy fog is going to be possible. I'll be honest, I don't think it's going to be all that widespread. As the winds begin to pick up, it's just enough by daybreak that should at least move that fog around a little bit or allow it to lift. So I'm not expecting widespread issues. We'll keep a close eye on that, though, as we go overnight tonight. Should we get any delays? That school delay hotspot map, all green at this point now as we just have wet weather across the area and expected to stay above freezing tonight. Right around the mid-30s into tomorrow morning, a few sprinkles that will be possible, close to 40 degrees as we roll into the early afternoon and should edge out highs at the lower 40s with a chance we get a few additional light showers or even a few wet snowflakes. So the rest of the night tonight, one round of steadier showers tapering off. We're still going to get clipped at the tail end of a few light rain showers very early Thursday morning. That will come to an end, mainly cloudy skies. And then into the afternoon, we'll get one more chance of some scattered showers that will pop up into the area. And a few of these showers, they may contain some ice pellets or brief wet snowflakes that will be around there toward mid to late afternoon. and that'll keep our highs right around the lower 40s. Sort of a raw feeling day as we get into Thursday. Here's a look at the plan for Thursday. Close to the lower 40s, mainly cloudy skies, a few brief showers that again could mix in with some of those ice pellets or wet snowflakes. Back toward 50 on Friday. Into the weekend, low 30s to mid 30s Saturday and into Sunday. That's your first weekend in March, and it will be well below average. 44 the high on Monday. Mostly sunny skies, then rain chances back late Tuesday. We should climb through the 40s on Tuesday, back into the 50s Wednesday, and that again will come with rain chances, and then another cold front Wednesday to Thursday will drop us back into the 40s and likely low 40s as we get toward the end of next week. That's a look at your 10-day forecast. Dan, back over to you.
Chris, thank you. The Toledo-Lucas County Health Department making a last-minute push to ensure all food operators renew their licenses before they expire Saturday. They want to remind food operators that they can renew their licenses online or in person at the health department. They've been experiencing some issues with mail delivery, so it's important to explore these other options to avoid any disruption. A new brewery will soon set up shop in the Wheelhouse Coffee and Tap Room at Oak Openings. Metro Parks Toledo says Ernest Brew Works will operate the brewery half of the Wheelhouse, partner with Wild Roots Coffee to provide coffee and food services. The Wheelhouse was previously run by Heavy Beer Company. They closed down in December. Ernest plans to open in Oak Openings this spring.
But it is really close to the Wabash Cannonball Trail. It's only like a mile and a half away. I'm not an avid mountain biker, but I have talked to some mountain bike friends of mine, and yeah, they do like to go out there on the trails and they head back to the Wheelhouse and have a beer before they go home.
The Wheelhouse is part of the Beach Ridge area where the Canalay Treehouse Village opened in 2020. Well, a local actor is starring in a new movie called Stationed at Home. Daryl Johnson is a graduate of Toledo School for the Arts and plays Harry in the film. The black and white movie is set on Christmas Eve 1998 about a graveyard shift taxi driver awaiting the sighting of the International Space Station where unexpected situations make it harder than originally planned. This is director Daniel Mascari's first feature film. Says Johnson was a huge inspiration, was honored he was in the film.
My time at Toledo School for the Arts, I'm a flying pig for life, was just absolutely crucial. I do remember walking in the first day. It was a school developed by creatives who had a dream, and here we are sitting on the floor, no desks, no chairs, but everybody in there just eager and anxious and ready.
Johnson credits his time at TSA for his success and says anybody looking to become an actor should develop their observation skills. Stationed at Home is premiering March 7th through March 9th at the Glasgow Film Festival. Now pivoting to the basketball court, hard to believe we're already deep into the high school basketball playoffs. Anthony Wayne superstar is having quite a memorable week. Noelle Blumel is in studio and has more. What's going on?
Sure do. So obviously it's high school basketball season, playoff postseason run, and Elise Bender and the Generals made it worthwhile. A 2-hour drive to Barberton last night, not only to notch a 38-point win, but get a career record for Anthony Wayne history. That's right, Elise Bender surpassed 2,000 career points, and she did so on this basket right there. The Villanova signee became the first player in school history, boy or girl, to accomplish this feat. And as mentioned, it came in the Generals regional semifinal win last night as well, which means she can now add on to her total when the Generals take on Hudson this Friday for a trip to state. But first, here's Bender's reaction on being one of one.
Yeah, definitely starting my freshman year, I did not think it was achievable, but as the seasons went on, I obviously saw that it was, and so it's kind of a relief to have that gone and not in the back of my head anymore, and so I can really focus on each game and winning each game.
Yeah, and it's also worth mentioning she led the way with 23 points last night, and her twin sister, Brooke, also put up 10 of her own.
And they're both going to Villanova together.
Villanova together.
That's great. Well, do you want to see more coverage of your community? Connect with us. Check out our WTOL 11 social media pages on YouTube.